Part 2. The Reconstruction. Indi Code 5. The Echo of Authentic Desire. As the old structures of Kalen's ego began to crumble, Indi helped him listen for the faint, almost forgotten whispers of his authentic desires. What truly brought him joy? What were the passions he had sacrificed at the altar of ambition? Indi encouraged Kalen to explore activities he had once loved or been curious about, not for any external reward, but simply for the intrinsic pleasure they offered. Kalen rediscovered a forgotten love for sculpting, the feel of clay in his hands, a grounding, centering experience. He started taking long walks in nature, something his demanding schedule had never permitted. These small acts of honoring his true self began to fill the inner void in a way that his previous achievements never could. It wasn't about grand gestures, but about aligning his daily life with the quiet inclinations of his soul. Indi Code 6. The Compass of Intuition. Kalen had always relied on logic, data, and external advice to make decisions. Indi introduced him to the power of his intuition, the innate wisdom that resided within him. Your mind is a powerful tool, Kalen, but your intuition is your soul's compass. It will always point you towards your true north. Indi taught Kalen practices to quiet the mental chatter, meditation, mindfulness, spending time in silence, to create space for his intuitive voice to emerge. He learned to pay attention to gut feelings, subtle energetic shifts, and synchronicities. Trusting his intuition was a leap of faith. It often contradicted the logical path or the advice of others. But as Kalen began to follow these inner nudges, he found that they led him to experiences and connections that were far more fulfilling and aligned with his true self. Indi Code 7. The Alchemy of Self-Compassion. The journey of deconstruction had unearthed a great deal of self-judgment and criticism within Kalen. Indi emphasized the critical role of self-compassion in the rebuilding process. You cannot build a temple of self-power on a foundation of self-reproach, Kalen. True strength is rooted in kindness towards oneself. Indi guided Kalen to treat himself with the same understanding and empathy he might offer a close friend. He learned to acknowledge his imperfections without condemnation, to forgive himself for past mistakes, and to celebrate his progress, no matter how small. This practice of self-compassion was transformative, softening the harsh inner critic and creating a nurturing inner environment for growth. Indi Code 8. The Architecture of Inner Alignment. With a growing understanding of his authentic desires, his intuition, and the importance of self-compassion, Kalen began to consciously redesign his life. This wasn't about abandoning his responsibilities, but about infusing them with a new sense of purpose and meaning. He started delegating more at his company, creating space for activities that nourished his soul. He shifted his leadership style, fostering a more collaborative and compassionate work environment. His relationships became more genuine as he learned to communicate his needs and boundaries with honesty and kindness. Indi taught him that inner alignment was an ongoing practice, a constant tuning in to his soul's resonance and making choices that honored it. Self-power is not a destination, Kalen, but a way of navigating life from a place of inner truth.